Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, what a day.
Yeah? How was your first day at the new bank job?
I got fired.
For what?
Well, okay, so I'm working at the teller, and the lady comes in and she says, "Can you help me check my balance?"
Okay.
So I walk over, I push her a little bit, she falls over, and I say, "You got no balance." Yeah, that's what I said. What the heck? Hello, welcome back. I'm Nate.
I'm Mikey.
We're here to help you improve your balance.
Alright, so we are going through the Book of Balance from Lex Gonzales, and we're up to level 5. So if you've been following along, it's been getting, there you go, progressively harder and harder. We've done a lot of kind of similar movements, a lot of stepping, a lot of gaze stabilization, visual cues, and now it's going to be a day with a lot of movement. So if you've been following along, you might need a little larger space today, maybe a hallway, probably 10, 15 feet if you want. We've got about 8 feet here to show you some little steps, and you'll just have to keep going, and we'll tell you when to stop.
Yeah, all right, it'll be a lot of fun. So if you're ready, let's get going.
Right.
So go ahead and clear some space, and let's see. We also want a couple props. So if you have yourself a balance pad, one of these kind of squishy foam things, and then like a yoga block or something, you might want something even stronger than this. So for the steps, you might want even just use a stair step, or if you've got something solid like a one of those athletic steps or something wooden, that might be good too. So get yourself some props. And if you're ready, let's get going.
So the first one here, it's a nice little warm up, and we're just stepping on top of our object. So this is a yoga block. I'm not putting a lot of weight on it. It's not going to support me. So I'm really holding my leg up, all right, staying up tall here. And the important part of this exercise is your visual point. So they call it gaze stabilization. All right, so you're looking at one place, you're trying to hold that visual point. All right, so find something off in the distance. All right, and just with one foot up, all right, you're going to be balancing on one foot in a little different position. And we're going to hold this for about 30 seconds.
Yeah, you'll start to feel yourself wavering a little bit, especially the higher up the block is. So there's 3 settings. If you want to start with the low setting, you can. There's a medium setting and then a tall setting. So obviously the higher up it is, the more challenging it'll be. Whoa.
Definitely start to feel your hip get a little tired, your lower leg, your feet. All right, those should all be working to keep you in a nice neutral position.
Alright, it's about 30 seconds.
Yeah, and switch sides. Alright, find that point again. This recommends something a little closer. I'm not sure if further away or closer is going to challenge this more, but hold it.
And the more lightly you touch your foot, the more challenging it'll be. So if you just, barely touch your toe on it, you're going to feel that standing leg having to work harder. But you want something that if you do have to put some weight into it, it's not going to immediately tumble. So something with a little bit of stability is important here. This is also going to be a lot more challenging if you're barefoot or with socks. If you have shoes on, it's going to be a lot easier. So take that into consideration. If you want this to be easier, wear shoes. If you want it more challenging, try barefoot.
Yeah, I think we generally recommend having socks or bare feet just so you can get those toe and foot muscles involved. All right,
Yeah.
They add a lot to your stabilization even when you wear shoes. And if you have shoes, plus you have strong, healthy feet, that's going to make you the most stable out and about the world there. So
yeah, the only exception on that though, if you have socks, make sure you're on a carpet or something with traction. You don't want to use socks if you're on hardwood floors or linoleum. Obviously, you don't want to slip.
Definitely. So next one, so same position, all right, but now we're going to start to turn our head up and down and then side to side. So we're just going to let you play with that for a little bit. So looking up, looking down, looking up, looking down, and then you can go side to side. One side, turn, look the other way, Back to the other side.
You can really feel those stabilizing muscles kind of firing there. Like I can feel the outside of my standing leg really working. So this is one way you can tell which parts of your body might be weak or parts that you need to strengthen in order to improve your balance. Where do you feel your body having to do the most work? That's usually where you're going to need the most help.
This is a really nice, simple exercise because you're getting all the benefits of balancing on one leg, which you can make harder and harder as you take your foot away from the block or lightly touch it. And then you're getting the visual and the inner ear systems working as well. And distracting your brain and making your other systems take over. Switch legs here, last side.
Yeah, and try switching up the height too. If you've been on the lower or the medium setting, maybe challenge yourself with the top setting. Or if it's too hard, take it down a notch.
And if you don't have a trusted block or object, I think this is one you can do without it, but it definitely adds a layer.
Yeah, you could have, well, a chair might be too tall, but if you have something low, like a low firm cushion, a low table, something like that could work too. Yeah, and this is really that inner ear, that vestibular system. You'll see how much it plays a role as you move your head around. Those fluids in your inner ear are sloshing around and you're getting the sense of movement. So it can really be a challenge. If you get dizzy or nauseous at all, of course, just stop. Some people get that when they move their head.
Yeah, a good one, easy one to do in front of a couch. All right, if you're really trying to train that system, if you have a hard time with this, you want to take a little extra care, do it in front of the couch. Makes it easier to fall back on if you need to. So just have a plan, if this is something that's really challenging you. All right, so moving on. So now we're going to be marching. So pretty similar. So we're just going to take away the block, all right, and we're going to make it more of a dynamic movement instead of the static movement that we're working on, which works on dynamic balance instead of static balance. All right, so once we get our march down, all right, you're going to start to play with looking up and down, and then side to side, and any other creative angles you want to challenge yourself with.
Do some diagonals.
And we can play with the tempo of our march. So if you slow it down, all right, you're going in slow motion.
Or speed it up.
Speed it up.
Oh, that becomes tricky. If you turn your head real fast, don't do it too fast. Okay, start with slow. Make sure you don't get disoriented. But yeah, pausing a little though, that is it. Because the dynamic balance, sometimes you'll rely on the momentum, but if you have to pause, it really makes you have to work a little harder and strengthen.
Yeah, try to stand on one foot and look to 3 or 4 different directions and then switch. Check out a few things around the room.
This is a really important one if you like to hike, if you like to travel, if you're sightseeing in a city, you're walking around, you're looking at buildings or things, if you're out there in a national park, you're looking at mountains. This is really important that you have a good sense and ability to walk, move, and look all at the same time.
This is challenging when you hold it for a few seconds and then look 3 different places.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see if you can pick out.
Oh, that is hard.
3 different dust bunnies.
If you see it, you have to clean it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so holding and then moving your head 1, 2, 3, that is a good challenge.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Nice. Okay, we shake out our leg. There's quite a few exercises in these, so we'll try and go a little quicker. So now, if you have a balance pad, all right, so a little thick cushion, all right, usually nice on your feet, or if you don't have that, you can use a pillow or a folded up blanket or towel, just something to take away a little bit of that stability under your feet. And again, if you want to do it in front of a couch, make it a little safer, that's a great decision. And so, first one, you're going to stand with your feet together, and then the progression of difficulty is 1 foot slightly in front of the other, and then 1 foot fully in front of the other. And you kind of run out of room on these balance pads to do 1 foot in front of the other, but they usually fit. So just be careful if you have to step, realize that now there's an inch or two below you, that you're ready to take that step strategy fall prevention method. All right, so again, start feet together, find your foot position, all right, and you can focus straight forward for about 20 seconds, and then we'll start to play with our head, moving in different directions.
So you're trying to fix your gaze on one point.
Yeah, so start with the fixed gaze, and then we'll start to move and look at different objects again. We can move our feet to a more challenging position. All right, so either put 1 foot in front of the other. If you really feel balanced, you can go to 1 foot even. That's usually the hardest option. All right, but just recognize what your ability is, where you're at, and hold it for about another 10 seconds, and then give you an opportunity to switch again.
Yeah, so the reason why semi-tandem is a little harder than just feet next to each other is that you've narrowed your base of support. So semi-tandem is basically 1 foot, like you're having just a step, and then full tandem is where you take a step and you line up your feet, kind of like a tightrope. And so your base of support is very narrow from left to right, so this is really going to challenge you from side to side. 1 foot is going to challenge you the most because your base of support is narrow in all 4 directions, in all angles.
Yeah, full tandem, if you can see the black socks on the white carpet, they're nice and lined there. All right, partial tandem would be a little bit to the side. All right, feet together, partial, full tandem, 1 foot. Sort of the progression there. Mm-hmm. Nice. All right, so now we're going to start to play with that vision again. So you're on a balance pad, choose your stance, and we'll do about 30 seconds on each side, looking around in different directions. And again, play with the frequency and the pace of each of those movements.
It's good to do this with a friend if you need to grab on.
So you can knock them over too. It usually does add to the total balance when you connect with someone, but
depends who that is.
Yeah.
But yeah, use your arms to help you balance as well. So moving your head around, start it very slowly. And also be ready, to step off if you need to. Don't go down with the ship, okay? If you need to step off, be ready to do that. Don't try to just stay on, to the very end. Step off anytime you need.
And switch sides there if you haven't.
Wow, the head movement really makes it a different story.
All right, so yeah, level 5, not super easy.
Yeah.
If you don't have one of these balance pads, they're really nice. They're a lot of fun to...
Totally worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should get one.
All right, so now we're going to start with the walking portion of these. So clear your space again, find your hallway, reposition your screen to somewhere where you'll have enough space to walk back and forth. All right, and then you kind of want to have a turnaround point. So we have this nice official ring that Nate is going to walk around. Maybe a block's better, you can see it. All right, and can you walk to there?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So the first one is so it's varied step length. So how long you're walking. All right, and then speed. So maybe we're going to start with big slow steps, and we can go to small quick steps.
Yeah.
Right?
So you could just vary it. So trying to take double-sized steps all the way around the room. So you're doing a bigger or lots of small steps. And then also I think playing with speed, right?
Yeah. So I think kind of big and slow to start with. All right. Use your arms. Nice to have that counterbalance and get that brain working to coordinate these bigger movements.
Monty Python step here.
So just going up and down the hallway, finding that turnaround point. All right, nice and tall, good arm movement. All right, really confident with these steps. All right, good. Now we can go a little quicker and a little shorter. All right, so we're kind of buzzing around, almost tiptoeing.
Reminds me of soccer drills.
We're running, a lot of running. Tired, short-stepped, jogging to recover.
Could do this around a soccer field if you really want.
Yeah. All right, notice the different parts of your feet too. Are you really landing hard on your heel? Are you using the toes and the outside of your feet to sort of cushion it?
It's good to get your heart rate up a little bit.
Yeah. All right, can we go even shorter and quicker? How short and quick you can kind of make your steps. It's almost shuffling, but try to avoid that scuff. And really make sure you're stepping up and down each time. Okay, we're not shuffling, we're stepping. All right. Little quick motions. There you go. Almost a little jog if you want. Jogging and turning in small spaces is really powerful.
Break a sweat here pretty soon.
Even if you don't like running, it's good to be able to every once in a while. So I think as we get older, I see my parents. Especially my mom, she's not running around as much, but every once in a while we go to the beach and it's just awesome to see a little trot chasing after her grandkid a little bit, and it's good to be able to keep up.
You never know when the zombie apocalypse is going to be here and you're going to have to run like crazy, so...
Yeah. I just have to be faster than Nate.
I'm pretty fast, so...
All right, nice. So a little bit, but again, just reminding you of things your body wants to be able to do, and you can start to do this around the house next time. And if you're doing exercise like these, little cords, little things can throw you off. So do the home safety inspection. And now we're going to move on to looking around while we're taking steps. So again, find your normal pace. We're going to start with the normal pace of walking, but now you're going to start to look up and down and side to side, all around you. Throwing a little catwalk turn. Strike that pose at the end of the walk.
Need to change outfits.
I know. We got that suit back on. All right. So now, if you've got your head motion, looking up and down, now you can play with your stride length again. So if they're long, slow steps, which are really valuable, okay, getting that weight shift, that that extension, or those quick short steps while you're looking up and down, side to side. All right, that's going to be really good for you. Perfect. All right. Again, yeah, using multiple systems going to pay off quicker here. All right. So we've been sort of doing this. It says walk with a pivot turn. All right. So we've had this object here that we're going around. All right. So since we've probably been doing that, let's just make sure that we're pivoting. So really notice that plant and turn foot. So what are you doing when you turn? Are you having to shuffle to make a lot of turns? All right. Or are you able to get onto that toe and sort of pivot around it and turn the other way?
This is really important if you want to be on the catwalk, okay? And this is, I think, also one reason why you put this in the book is this is part of the timed up and go. So this is one of the classic tests that they use for people to check their balance, is kind of how fast it takes them to go from sitting, standing, walking around an object and coming back. And so if you feel like this is challenging, just turning around, walking around, this could be a signal of a bigger problem. So make sure this is really feeling pretty comfortable.
Yeah, so our goal, so have you impress your doctors when you go see them next. If you've had to go through these tests or they question your balance, keep doing little bits of this stuff every day. Next time you go back, you should be able to see a big difference. So that's our goal. That should be your goal. But it takes those steps in between, okay? Literal steps. You have to take physical steps in different ways if you're going to make the changes here. So thank you for joining us. And now we're going to start to take some backwards steps. Not metaphorically, physically, right? Okay, so really careful here. all right? You don't have to use the pivot point if you feel like you're gonna trip it on it. If you don't have good vision behind you yet, all right, just be really careful here. But it's very important to be able to walk backwards because that's how a lot of falls happen. Yeah, something's unexpected, you have to take a step back, all right? And even worse, you have to take a step back and there's an unexpected obstacle behind you, all right? So we wanna make sure that not only our feet can move backwards, but that our visual abilities to turn and look down and see where our feet are going are also nice and sharp.
Yeah, it's a good challenge if you walk backward with your head turned a little bit too. So this is going to help stretch your neck, and obviously you want to change directions, don't always look the same way. But this is really important because sometimes this comes up. You have to walk backward for some reason, and you have to look, and you want to be comfortable with this.
Nice. Really important, that one there. Almost, I would say, probably more important than the forward walking, just because we don't get to do it as much.
Yeah.
All right. So now, sideways walking. So a lot of different ways to do it. You know, bring one foot to the other. All right. The feet can either come all the way together, all right, or my preference is just a little space between them. You really don't want your feet to come all the way together because then you're least stable. But good to be able to have that range of motion.
One thing that's important, and this is also another tripping hazard, is I don't know if people still wear long dresses, but if you have a long dress or even like long pants or something, and if you're stepping on it, you can trip on the fabric. So this is one thing also to be careful with. Most people aren't wearing long dresses anymore, I think, but you never know.
It's a shame.
We'll bring them back, maybe.
Nice.
This is really good. You can work on the outer hips. This is one of the weakest parts of the legs because we tend to always walk forward, right? We want to go this way, we turn and go this way. We want to go that way, we turn and go that way. So we rarely walk sideways. So you might be surprised how quickly your outer hips get tired. And this is important to work on.
Yeah, so if you're kind of taking the same sideways steps, you can go a little lower, all right, so a little wider stance, and then only bring that back foot about halfway in. So you're keeping that really low stance, all right, you're moving a couch with a friend, all right, you've got to keep that strength, you've got to keep that balance, all right, and you're just shuffling in a very powerful, large base of support way.
Yeah, you can almost imagine that you're like ducking under, you know, like a wire or something. So that can be a fun little challenge.
Yeah,
also.
playing, usually, we try to get people not to bob up and down, but that ability to bob too, really nice, all right? And just go at your own pace, your own level, all right? But that one gets pretty tiring pretty quick if you're keeping those legs bent. All right, good?
Yeah.
Nice. So the last one here, we're going back to the star step that we've been doing throughout this book. That's kind of one of the big things that it offers is the star step training.
And we're going to show you how to make your own star step at home here. So where'd that tape go? So all you need is a mat or something, and then I suggest masking tape. I use Scotch tape, and it wasn't really good. It kind of tore some of the foam up on this thing. So basically, you just make 4 lines. So you're going to do like kind of the cardinal directions. So you'll do one straight across, either front to back or left to right, and then straight across. So you make kind of an X. Okay? And then you're going to do the exact same thing in between each one. So
you can do this on your carpet, or you can use pennies. We've been doing that before, but this is sort of your more official looking.
And so this is actually something, if you go to the physical therapist and they're testing your balance with the star step, they might actually mark with a pen exactly where you're touching, because the further out that you can touch, the stronger your balance is, right? So start off slow, start off light and close in, and all you do is you basically will start with one foot in the middle. So any part of your foot, it could be the heel, the ball of the foot, or the center, and then you're just going to touch each side. And we're going to use a metronome to kind of help you keep track. So at the beginning, you just got to get used to it, but eventually you want to work on adding a metronome. So you start with about 40 beats a minute. You can use your cell phone and just literally go to Google and type in metronome, and it pops right up. And if you want, you can also find an app, or if you have an actual metronome, for your musical instrument or something, that works too. So we'll start with 1 foot, and I think there's an added factor here, right?
So if this is the first time doing it, go ahead and just focus on the task. If you've done this before and are following along, this one, it's wanting you to do a mental activity. So it's really distracting yourself while you're trying to do this, all right? And so what they want us to do is, this book recommends counting backwards from 100 by threes. And that gets pretty tough.
That's really, I couldn't do that without star steady.
Yeah, so we're gonna say count back from 100 by twos, all right? If you get that down, then you can try threes or sevens or whatever challenging number you can think of. But twos works pretty well. It keeps you going, keeps you honest, but you're going to be able to focus enough on the task.
Okay, so again, you can try it without all that, or if you want to join me, this is 40 beats per minute, and I'm starting my right foot, my left foot is going to go forward, and I'm going to try to count backward from 100 by twos. All right, so it'll be 100, 98, 96, 94, 92, 90, 88, and then you come forward again, 86, 84, 82, 80, 78, oh my god, this is hard, 76, 74, 72,
Yes.
70, 68, 66, 64, like that. So you can count in your head, you can keep going, try to get all the way, if you need to take breaks or something, that's fine.
So let's switch feet and start again, and we'll let you focus on the mental part, and we'll just go along with you. If you need to count backwards by ones, if you need to just not do it, that's fine too. But we'll let you count backwards on your own, and we'll keep increasing the tempo about every 30 seconds and switching feet.
Yeah. So this one's going to be 50 beats per minute. So it may help to do it out loud, but you could do it in your head also. And you'll start with little steps, and then as you get stronger, you'll step further out. And it's okay to use your hands for balance. You could also use like a balance bar, or a walking stick if you want something else to hang on to.
This definitely takes away your base of support and kind of test your balance pretty suddenly, in different directions. So having a bar like this, is something that you can pretty quickly regain your balance. Very helpful.
Yeah, and you don't have to use it. You can just put it down as needed. So that makes it nice to challenge yourself, but you also feel safe doing it too.
Nice. All right, switch legs a little faster.
All right, so we head up to 60. So this one, if you want to go, this is really the maximum that I would recommend, is 60 beats a minute. Okay, and if you can count backwards, if you want to count backwards by 3, be my guest, but that's too hard for me. So try counting backward by 2s, or maybe counting up by 3s if that's easier. Find some sort of cognitive task. So that's the whole point here. You're challenging your brain with something else as you're doing your star steps. I can see how this could help you on the dance floor too.
And I was going to say, you kind of look like Willy Wonka. About to do a little.
Hey, hey. Yeah, the cane. This is kind of a dancing cane. If you want, you can. Okay.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. So again, these are all some really good exercises, some great tools. It's called The Book of Balance. So thebookofbalance.com. You can go check Lex Gonzales out, his work. We are Balance for Life. If you go to our website, we've got some live trainings coming up. We've got some nice balance products that are going to be available. So check our website, keep watching the videos, keep tagging along, because we're going to go through a lot of content, and we're really just trying to make this fun and easy for you all, so we can get those consistent steps and exercises in, so we change our trajectory on balance.
Yeah, and definitely share this video. So if you enjoyed it and you can think of somebody, a loved one or a friend who might benefit from it, go ahead and copy paste, share it with them. you write us a comment if you have a question. We're happy to answer questions. So
yeah, let us know what your cognitive task is.
Yeah. If you have an idea or a suggestion as well, we'd love to hear about it. We can make videos for you. So yeah, we're available and we're happy to interact with you. So thanks so much for watching. And my name is Nate.
I'm Mikey.
And until next time, stay balanced, my friends.